Please let me know if you'll be in New York City next week for our Force conference. That is Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the Sports Business Awards Wednesday night, May 21st at the Times Square Marriott Marquis. I'd love to see you next week. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, May 14th. Good morning. I'm Abe Madcore. I know many are already looking forward to the start of the NFL season, and we'll get more clarity tonight, Wednesday night, with the official unveiling of the 2025 schedule. We know it's Cowboys-Eagles for the opener on Thursday, September 4th, and we know now that Google will stream its first exclusive game ever, showcasing the game Friday, September 5th from Brazil, free on YouTube and to existing YouTube TV subscribers. It's already known that the Chargers are the home team for that game in Sao Paulo on that Friday night. Sources have told SBJ that the Chiefs are the likely opponent. Of course, that matchup will be announced tonight when the schedule is released. Commissioner Roger Goodell and YouTube's Mary Ellen Coe will make a formal announcement of the game at Lincoln Center at the YouTube up front. Now, YouTube is certainly getting closer into business with the NFL as it has now a multi-year deal with the league for an annual Super Bowl flag football game that will feature artists and creators and celebrities. The brand will also sponsor some other international flag football games. We know the emphasis the NFL is putting on flag, and this is another way to bring in a partner to amplify the sport of flag football. Meanwhile, on the schedule release, keep checking sportsbusinessjournal.com all day and tonight, as we will have continual updates on the schedule release and what teams are doing to tout their schedule. Are you ready for some more streaming options? Well, after years of talking about it and working hard on it, it was formally announced yesterday. This fall, probably before the NFL season, get ready for ESPN's upcoming streaming service, which will be called ESPN. So what can we expect? Well, the new service will include content from all of ESPN's cable networks, SEC, ACC, and its digital ESPN Plus service. It'll cost $29.99 per month for unlimited access. Now, if you want a more affordable option, there is a select tier for $11.99 a month. So why is this significant anyway? Well, it marks the first time viewers will be able to access the entire programming of ESPN's vast catalog of networks and content without a cable subscription. Now, I am a cable subscriber in Charlotte Spectrum Cable, and current MVPD subscribers to ESPN are authenticated automatically. So in my case, there'll be no additional payment required to access the new streaming product. But this product will be different, and ESPN believes it will be far more engaging, and they will work hard to get viewers like you, like me, off the linear feed of ESPN and adapt and adopt the new ESPN app, which will provide far more enhancements and programming options and other additional touch points. So what do you think? Will you pay $29.99 a month? I know I'm not in that demo, but I am still drawn to a bundle where everything is in one place and frictionless, and I pay one company. But that's not where we are now. And like so many of you, we will all be subscribing to a lot of different streaming services, possibly even Fox, as Fox's new streaming service, Fox One, will include sports news, and that will also launch this fall at a price to be determined. And one final fun fact and a word from ESPN, they stressed yesterday they don't want anyone to use the term flagship anymore. Remember, it was called ESPN Flagship, this new product, and they asked the media to never use that flagship term again. That was, of course, the nickname assigned to the service during its development. Now, ESPN formally launches this fall. Let's move on. We'll see another indication of the strength of the sports team marketplace in Portland. As 7 years after the death of Trailblazers owner Paul Allen, his estate has formally begun the process of selling the franchise. Now, he had requested his sports holdings, the Blazers and the Seahawks, be sold with all estate proceeds going toward philanthropy. His younger sister, Jody Allen, has served as the executor and trustee of his estate, as well as kind of the owner of the teams. But now the estate will sell the Blazers, just the Blazers, not the Seahawks or the interest in the Seattle Sounders. Those are not for sale for now, just the Trailblazers. Allen and Company and the law firm Hogan Lovells will oversee the sale. This will go on for some time. Now, the valuation of the Blazers will be very interesting. Recent reports from Sportico and others valued them at just over $3 billion. But remember, the Celtics have a deal in place to be sold at a valuation of $6.1 billion. And in 2023, the Suns and Mercury were valued at $4 billion, the Bucks at north of $3.5 billion. So the Blazers will be an interesting test case because remember, now that we have a new television deal, a new long-term media deal for the NBA, the financials and the long-term roadmap are pretty clear going forward. Blazers on the market. Let's see who steps up. We'll move on to some other agency news. CAA Sports, they added a new division to its portfolio in acquiring Portis Consulting. This is a London-based management firm, and this will expand CAA Sports' reach into the Middle East with offices in Riyadh and Dubai. Everybody is looking to do more business in the Middle East. This gets CAA Sports in that part of the world. This deal was spearheaded by CAA's Paul Danforth, and it marks the agency's first office and first group of staff on the ground in these countries in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. Portis Consulting works with governments and Olympic federations and committees and sports teams and leagues and investors on all forms of strategy and consulting. So this is another capacity that CAA Sports can add to its portfolio. Management consulting is something it didn't have. It's kind of a rare skill. It's very important. But like I said, it's a unique offering. Paul Danforth was in Dubai and Riyadh meeting with staff earlier this week. He'll be in London as well. So CAA Sports adding management consulting to its portfolio. You know, we talk a lot on the Buzzcast. Colleges are looking for more and more ways to increase revenue. Here's some examples. Clemson, it's seeing the benefits of allowing alcohol to be sold at its events. The school has generated nearly $500,000, more than $470,000 in revenue over 15 events held on campus since alcohol sales began in early April. That's pretty good for just over 1 month, and it includes baseball games, softball games, and of course 2 events at Memorial Stadium, a spring football game, and the Savannah Bananas. Now, we don't know what the net revenue was. We just know the top line gross figures. The highest grossing event was the Savannah Bananas. They made almost $350,000 in revenue on alcohol sales. You're going to see more and more of this. Michigan reported that it sold nearly $5 million in alcohol at its sporting venues last year, including $4.6 million at the Big House alone. And so interesting, these are revenue drivers, and you're going to see more and more schools look to adopt alcohol sales because it does drive top-line revenue. A couple of things to end the Buzzcast. The movie F1, that hits theaters in North America in late June. And in a conference yesterday, Liberty Media's Derek Chang talked up the hype around the film, which stars Brad Pitt. There's a lot of hope that this is going to draw a lot of attention around the sport. And Derek Chang called it a significant moment in terms of the amount of investment and promotion that Apple and Warner Brothers are putting into this project. They believe the movie will attract new fans. They think it will also please existing fans. So that's something to look for this summer. A lot of attention, a lot of hype around the movie F1 starring Brad Pitt. And congratulations to some of the best in the business. The Golden State Warriors basketball communications team won the Brian McIntyre Media Relations Award. That's for excellence in working with the media and serving the media during game days and non-game days. The staff is led by the exquisite Raymond Ritter, who is so well regarded in sports PR, sports communications, team PR work. He's definitely one of the best, and his communication staff is recognized with the Brian McIntyre Media Relations Award. And as the W season tips off, the league has a lot of energy behind it. Today, Wednesday at 12:30, in an exclusive episode of SBJ Live, we'll talk with ESPN, we'll talk with the Minnesota Lynx, and we'll talk with the Indiana Fever about this upcoming season of the WNBA, the opportunities, and all the storylines around the league. Check out this SBJ Live. Go to sportsbusinessjournal.com to register for today's episode starting at 12:30. SBJ Live on the WNBA's season tip-off. And that is your morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, May 14th. I'm Abe Madcore. Thanks for listening to the Buzzcast. Stay healthy, be good to each other. I'll speak to you tomorrow.